Well, hi you guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I wanted to make this video real quick because a lot of my videos I have some that are half put together and I'm starting to get backed up. I'm having a hard time getting all the videos out because I'm trying to juggle doing the work on this property and doing YouTube, and as one person is very difficult. So I'm trying to get this video put out and out of the way so I can start working on the others that I have. But I wanted to mention this, you guys, because I think this is a critical time and this is very important. And I know there's going to be people that don't believe me about this, and that's fine. But there are a lot of local people that watch my channel that need to know this information. So this is why I'm doing this, because this basically pertains to this area. But there's a second half that pertains to the rest of the United States, if not the world. So I need you to really listen to this, because the stage has been set now, and this is not a joke. If you guys remember, the ones that have followed me for some time, if you remember 2 years ago, I did a video, several videos about this warning about our bridge collapsing. And it's because I had 3 things that were shown to me. Now you could say, well, how was that shown to you, Kev? I really don't know, other than to say it was divine knowledge. Something, you could say it was God, you could say it was an angel, you could say it was the supernatural, but I was showing 3 things, and one of the 3 things came true, and that was the 3 military jets in formation flying from north to south down our lake, and it happened. And what I saw actually took place, and that was during COVID. I even had a vision 1 year before I saw what would take place over our lake, flying from north to south, going down the lake from the bridge towards Celeron, New York. That is north to south. 3 military fighter jets flying in formation fairly low right over our lake, flying down from north to south. And then when COVID hit a year later, they did a flyover to honor essential workers for COVID. And here is the clip of the very vision I saw of 3 military jets flying down our lake. The 2 other things that I was shown was civil unrest, and before that happened, our bridge collapsed. And our bridge is in bad condition, and now they started construction on it this year, and it's not slated to be finished until 2026. But there's something I need to tell you guys about in this video. When I was shown that this bridge collapsed, and this bridge is 1.2 miles long, it spans our lake. It's the only bridge that you can use to cross our lake to get from the west side to the east side, and it's I-86. It's a major interstate. It's a major thoroughfare traveling all through southern New York, all the way down to New York City. It's a heavy trucking route, and millions of people drive this road, you guys, this highway. Well, when I saw in my vision that the bridge had collapsed into 5 pieces, 5 large chunks were sticking out of the lake, up out of the water. When I saw that vision, there was a whole bunch. It has a split that goes like this, and it bends around. If you go straight, it takes you to Maple Springs, and that's where it goes up the east side of the lake to the north. In the middle of the lake, the highway I-86, Interstate 86, splits, and it crosses the very center of our lake to go westbound to Erie, Pennsylvania, and onward to Cleveland and west. When I came along on the highway and I came around that bend, I was forced to stop. Everybody was forced to stop because the bridge was no longer standing. And what I saw was a whole bunch of road cones, orange and white road cones, as well as thousands of road barrels that are also orange and white. And that's what's in place right now. They've already started taking the bridge apart, and what they're doing, you guys, is they're taking 1/2 of the width of the bridge. 1/2. They're taking the eastbound lane off the bridge and leaving the westbound lane on the left side. This thing has supports that branch out like this, so the weight of the bridge on one side, the state has already said they are possibly reconsidering the construction because it's going to set the balance of the bridge off. There's going to be too much tonnage on one side of the bridge while the other side is missing everything. And I'll show you in this video, because I did a video where we crossed it and I filmed going across the bridge what this bridge looks like, you guys, and it has gaping holes in it. When you drive across the bridge, because there is more weight on one side versus the other. When you're driving across the bridge in your vehicle, you feel like you're leaning. It feels like the whole bridge is leaning to the north side. It is in terrible, terrible condition. The bridge is completely corroded, rusted, coming apart. It's bent. All the steel is warped on the bridge. You can see where the trusses are bowing. But here's the biggest thing, you guys. Here's the biggest catcher right here. This was posted on my brother's Facebook, and he immediately sent it to me once he saw it in his feed. This was something that was posted by a gentleman called Stephen Thorpe, and I'll put it here in the video so you can pause the video and read what he posted on Facebook. He is warning people to stay off the bridge. He is warning people to go around and to not use the bridge, because he spoke to the construction workers and they said the bridge could possibly collapse. They have been pressure washing the bridge, and just pressure washing the beams is blowing holes in the steel. It's that thin. If they use a jackhammer, they can just punch right through the deck because it is so worn out and crumbling and corroded. And they said that this is what they told Stephen Thorpe. There is a beam that is 1,800 feet long of roadway that cannot be disturbed without catastrophic failure. This is a bridge that's supposed to be being rebuilt, but the centerpiece, they cannot remove it because it will cause the entire bridge to collapse. So how are they going to replace it? How are they going to fix it? They can't. So construction has basically ceased because Bridget uses this bridge. Even though I told her to stay off it, she still drives over it every day to go to work, to and from work. And she says when she comes home at night, construction is supposed to take place on this bridge at nighttime, and they're not working on it, and they've been getting equipment off the bridge, like big heavy excavators, different types of machinery. They're getting it off the bridge. So something's going on. So who is Stephen Thorpe? Stephen Thorpe is the president of the Southwestern New York Building and Construction Trade Council. This is a guy that has years of experience in construction and building projects, and he's telling people after he spoke to the workers to stay off the bridge. It's not safe, that the thing could collapse. And this is exactly what I was shown in my vision, was this bridge falling into 5 huge chunks that were sticking out of the lake. Another thing that I was shown after I was showing the bridge collapsing was civil unrest. I told you guys about this before, and the thing that worries me the most, you guys, is that both of these visions are in place to happen. Number one, everything I was showing that is at the bridge right now, which is just 1 mile from my house, the road cones, the road barrels, and all the construction stuff, everything is there exactly like I saw in the vision when the bridge collapsed. So everything is in place for that to happen. The second thing is with the civil unrest and smashing out windows and plazas where people rushed into stores and they looted them and took everything, and you could hear the crunching glass underneath of your feet. And I mentioned that when I went into one of these stores to take a look around after it had already been looted and everybody was gone and there was no electricity, I slipped in some peanut butter because there was a ruptured jar of peanut butter and I thought it was dog crap. But when I looked down, it was a jar of peanut butter that I slid in. There was no electricity, basically countrywide. There was no power, and people were looting stores, taking whatever they could. Things were just decimated, and it wasn't safe to go anywhere. It wasn't safe to travel. There was mobs of people just doing it was anarchy, you guys. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do. So the things that I saw that were in place when the bridge collapsed are in place right now. And the things that I saw happening in the civil unrest is coming, I believe, over this election. So this is in place right now with this election coming, to where this could be the possible cause of this civil unrest that I saw. So both things are showing right now that they could be coming true, because one of the 3 already happened and came to pass, and it came true. And I'll show you in this video right here where I talked before these jets flew down our lake, which never happened before. I saw 3 military jets flying in formation like a triangle. 3 of them, 1 in front and 2 following right behind the wings of the front jet, flying from north to south down our lake. And here in the video, I'll show you where that actually took place, and it actually happened. The other 2 are going to happen as well. When you got someone like Stephen Thorpe putting a warning on Facebook for anybody that reads it to stay off the bridge and to go around to use Route 430 or Route 394 and take the long way around. People aren't listening because they're like, well, you know, it only takes about a minute to cross the lake. It's, you know, a little over a mile long. It's a huge bridge. It's very, very heavy. And they just think, well, I'll scoot across it real quick and it'll be fine. I don't know when this thing's going to fall into the lake, if it's going to happen in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, when the traffic is heaviest. But you guys, they're taking this bridge apart piece by piece, and they're making it weaker every time they do something to this bridge. And the steel is unsafe. The concrete is unsafe. This thing is very heavy, and all it takes is that straw that broke the camel's back to where they separate something that is the one thing that's holding this bridge together, and the whole thing's going to fall into the lake. It's not safe to drive across, and people are using it every day. Tens of thousands of people are driving across this bridge every single day, and nobody will close it. Nobody will do anything about it. The state doesn't want to spend the funds it would take to replace this bridge brand new. All they want to do is just redeck it, retop the bridge, replace only some of the beams, some of the concrete. So they're doing a patch job. They're not going to replace the whole thing. And by not doing so, it's going to cause this thing to collapse, because this bridge is very deteriorated, and it's been standing since it was constructed in 1983. That's how old this bridge is. It's very tall. It spans deep water. And if anybody was on this bridge when it falls, they will not survive it. They would go down in the lake with all the rubble, and they would die. They will not survive it. People need to stay off this bridge. It's extremely dangerous. I'm very concerned about the other part that I saw with the looting and the civil unrest and the anarchy that unfolds in this country everywhere. And I saw where people were armed to the teeth with guns. Nobody felt safe. People were spending time out on the porches of their homes to defend their property. They were keeping watch because they were fearful of what was going on. There was no help, no services, no nothing. We were all on our own. And everybody is on their own. And I saw this happening, you guys. You can go back on my channel and find the videos where I've done videos about this. I've warned people about this, and these things are going to come to pass. They're going to unfold. They're going to take place. And now this guy's warning about a catastrophic failure of our bridge. Isn't that ironic? When that's the very thing that I was showing, that this thing collapses. And now that all the cones and road barrels are in place and everything that I saw, I'm very, very concerned about it, especially with people saying, and it wasn't only this guy. There was another person that had to do with the responsibility of building the bridge. I don't know if it was the current engineer or whoever is in charge of doing big projects like this for the state, said that by removing one half of the bridge, that it was going to put the bridge in a severe unbalanced condition to where it could cause it to collapse. So Stephen Thorpe is the second official that has the knowledge and the experience that is credible, that is saying the same thing, that this could happen. And I'm very concerned about it, you guys. So if anyone watching this video lives locally in Chautauqua County, New York, you need to stay off this bridge. You need to tell others that use this bridge to please stay off it. Drive around. Use the north end of the route to go around the lake, or the south end of the route to go around the lake. Don't cross this bridge. It needs to be completely torn down and replaced. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I got more content coming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.